Welcome to Zoom in Data. In this session, we will discuss Delta Lake architecture and features, which is a core component of Databricks and a very important interview topic. Delta Lake transforms traditional data lakes into reliable, scalable, and enterprise-ready data platforms by adding transactional guarantees and data management features. Understanding Delta Lake architecture helps you explain how Databricks solves common data lake problems such as data inconsistency, schema mismatch, and unreliable pipelines. This topic is essential for data engineers, analytics engineers, and architects, and is frequently asked in Databricks interviews. Subscribe to Zoom in Data to continue learning Databricks concepts in a structured and industry-focused way. What is Delta Lake in Databricks? Delta Lake is an open-source storage layer built on top of cloud object storage. It adds reliability, consistency, and performance improvements to data lakes. Delta Lake enables ACID transactions on data stored in cloud storage. It is tightly integrated with Apache Spark and Databricks. Why was Delta Lake introduced? Traditional data lakes suffer from unreliable writes and corrupted data. There is no built-in support for transactions in raw data lakes. Delta Lake was introduced to solve data quality and consistency issues. It enables enterprise-grade data management on low-cost storage. What is the core architectural component of Delta Lake? The core component of Delta Lake is the transaction log, also known as the Delta log. The transaction log records every change made to the data. It maintains the history of all operations performed on the table. This log ensures data consistency and reliability. What is the Delta transaction log? The Delta transaction log is a sequence of JSON and Parquet files. It records metadata and data file changes for each transaction. Each transaction represents an atomic operation. The log enables ACID guarantees and time travel. How does Delta Lake support ACID transactions? Delta Lake ensures atomicity by committing changes fully or not at all. Consistency is maintained through schema enforcement. Isolation is provided through optimistic concurrency control. Durability is achieved by storing data in cloud object storage. What is optimistic concurrency control in Delta Lake? Delta Lake assumes that conflicts are rare. Transactions are validated before being committed. If conflicts are detected, the transaction is retried or failed. This approach improves performance while maintaining correctness. How does Delta Lake handle schema enforcement? Delta Lake validates incoming data against the table schema. Invalid or mismatched data is rejected. This prevents accidental schema corruption. Schema enforcement ensures consistent and high-quality data. What is schema evolution in Delta Lake? Schema evolution allows controlled changes to table structure. New columns can be added without breaking pipelines. Changes are tracked in the transaction log. This supports evolving business requirements. What is time travel in Delta Lake? Time travel allows querying historical versions of a table. Users can access previous data states using version numbers or timestamps. This feature is useful for auditing and debugging. It also helps in recovering from accidental data changes. How does Delta Lake improve data reliability? Delta Lake prevents partial and corrupted writes. All changes are logged and versioned. Failed jobs do not leave the table in an inconsistent state. This makes pipelines more robust and dependable. How does Delta Lake store data files? Data is stored as Parquet files in cloud storage. The transaction log tracks active and obsolete files. Old files are cleaned up during maintenance operations. This separation improves performance and manageability. What is the role of checkpointing in Delta Lake? Checkpoints summarize the transaction log. They reduce the time needed to read table metadata. Checkpointing improves query performance. It ensures scalability as the table grows. How does Delta Lake support batch processing? Batch jobs can safely read and write Delta tables. ACID transactions ensure consistent results. Large-scale batch processing is reliable and repeatable. This supports enterprise ETL workloads. How does Delta Lake support streaming workloads? Delta Lake supports structured streaming. Streaming writes are transactional and fault-tolerant. Exactly once processing is achieved. Streaming and batch workloads can coexist on the same table. What is the benefit of unified batch and streaming in Delta Lake? It eliminates the need for separate pipelines. Data consistency is maintained across workloads. Maintenance and operational complexity are reduced. This enables real-time analytics on fresh data. How does Delta Lake improve query performance? Delta Lake supports data skipping and indexing. Column statistics help reduce unnecessary data scans. Optimized file layouts improve read efficiency. This results in faster queries on large datasets. What is data compaction in Delta Lake? Small files can degrade performance. Delta Lake supports compaction to merge small files. Compaction improves query efficiency. It is a key maintenance best practice. How does Delta Lake support data governance? Schema enforcement ensures data correctness. Audit logs track data changes. Access controls restrict data usage. Governance policies can be enforced consistently. How does Delta Lake support rollback and recovery? Time travel enables reverting to previous versions. Accidental deletes or updates can be undone. This improves operational safety. Recovery is faster and simpler. How does Delta Lake integrate with Databricks SQL? Delta tables can be queried using SQL. SQL users benefit from ACID guarantees. Business users can access reliable data. This bridges analytics and engineering workflows. How does Delta Lake support machine learning pipelines? Training data remains consistent during experiments. Feature datasets are reliable and versioned. Model reproducibility is improved. This supports end-to-end ML workflows. Why is Delta Lake important for the lakehouse architecture? It combines data lake scalability with data warehouse reliability. ACID transactions make analytics trustworthy. Multiple workloads can share the same data. This forms the foundation of the lakehouse. How does Delta Lake reduce operational complexity? Fewer manual data recovery steps are needed. Unified architecture simplifies pipelines. Maintenance is automated and predictable. Teams can focus on analytics instead of fixing data issues. Why is Delta Lake a frequent interview topic? It demonstrates understanding of modern data architectures. Interviewers test real-world Databricks experience. Strong answers show knowledge of reliability and scalability. It reflects practical engineering skills. How does Delta Lake enable enterprise-scale analytics? It ensures reliable, secure, and scalable data storage. Multiple teams can safely access shared data. Analytics workloads run consistently at scale. Delta Lake makes data lakes production ready. Thank you for watching Zoom in Data. If you found this video helpful, like, share, subscribe. More Databricks interview and tutorial videos coming soon on Zoom in Data. Stay connected and keep learning with Zoom in Data.